comes to Image Comics and superheroes, many comic fans know of Invincible, and some may even know the Skybound imprint that it hails from. But how many other significant superheroes have come out of this phenomenal and original indie publishing house? And why should you not underestimate them? Welcome back, Nerd Squad. It's me, Amanda McKnight, aka VampX13. Join me today as we count down the top 10 Image Comics superheroes you should never underestimate. Hopefully, some of your favorites will be on here for my Image fans, and for those new to Image, hopefully you'll find someone exciting and new for you to follow up on. Which comic book publisher is your favorite and why? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Supreme. Supreme is a character inspired by DC's Superman. Created by Rob Liefeld, the character was originally a part of Image Comics' roster of supers. The great thing about Supreme was that despite being a Superman-esque figure, his series was always somewhat more self-aware, poking fun at some of the typical historical superhero tropes. And friends, before we move on to our next spot on this list, if you love what we do here at Top 10 Nerd, be sure to show us you love us by clicking that subscribe button. Seriously, it really does help us out, and also that way you don't miss out on any awesome content that we have. Wah 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 wah! Number 9. Tech Jacket. Tech Jacket is a member of the Guardians of the Globe. He appears in the Invincible series later on from issue 71 through to 78, but actually first appeared in his own spin-off series based in that universe, self-titled Tech Jacket. Tech Jacket is Zach Thompson, a hero who received an alien tech jacket from a dying alien who had crash landed on Earth. That alien's name was Kelda, and they belonged to a physically fragile and weaker race of aliens known as the Geldarians. To compensate, they created the tech jacket for every member of the race to wear. The tech jacket is a permanent item of clothing that is generally never removed. It grants Zach enhanced speed, strength, stamina, and agility. It can create energy blasts and weapons for the user to wield. It can also create force fields and can clean and provide sustenance to its user as needed. Sounds great. You never need to take it off, I feel like. Number 8. Inferno Girl Red. Inferno Girl Red comes to us from the Massiverse, which is the universe that Radiant Black exists in. Inferno Girl Red, however, is a character that exists in her own series. She is kind of like a magical girl meets like a Power Ranger in terms of her look and her abilities. She comes with a mystical dragon bracelet, which gives her powers, a cool suit, and allows her to transform. She's a pretty new hero and still figuring out her power set, but I know as time goes on she'll only get stronger. We got our first glimpse of her in the first Massiverse crossover comic, and it was there that I became obsessed with wanting to read more about her. If you also feel the pull, she has her own miniseries, which is now collected in its own trade that you can check out. And I don't think it's going to be the last series that she'll have either. I think it's going to be continued, and I would also highly recommend checking it out. Her story is captivating and her character design is one of the best out there. Number 7. Bulletproof. Zandale Randolph, also known as Bulletproof, is a character in the Invincible comics series. He first appeared in issue number 14 as a member of the Guardians of the Globe, and later becomes known as Invincible. Zandale joins Mark and Eve's business venture, Invincible Inc., and fills in for Mark as Invincible when he's unavailable. Zandale gains his superpowers after his twin brother Tyrone experiments on him. As Bulletproof, he has superhuman strength and vulnerability, and the ability to fly, as well as energy absorption powers. Just because he's not the original Invincible and is not a Viltrumite doesn't mean that he should be underestimated in the comics, or I'm sure in the animated series whenever he shows up there. Number 6. Witchblade. The series Witchblade hails from Top Cow Production, which is an imprint of Image Comics. The series centers around a mystical artifact and the woman who is granted it after it abandons its current host, in order to save her and heal her. This object is known as the Witchblade, the name of which the character and series also share, and this woman, often the main host most people know when it comes to the Witchblade, is Sarah Pizzini, a NYPD homicide detective. The powers granted to her by the Gauntlet are the ability to form weapons and armor using it. Usually very provocative armor, but this is also because using the Witchblade is not easy and Sarah is not as skilled, especially not at the start of her time as Witchblade. The Witchblade also grants Sarah enhanced strength, flight, allows her to shoot energy blasts, and grants her healing factor. Witchblade was created by Mark Silvestri, David Wohl, Brian Haberlin, and Michael Turner. Number 5. Tara. Tara is the daughter of Adam Eve and Invincible. She was born on Earth but would move to Taliscria with her parents. Because she is part Viltrumite, it was believed that she would likely grow up to be even stronger than her father who came before her, as this is usually the way with Viltrumites. They get stronger and stronger through each generation. This means that Tara has the potential to become stronger than both her father, grandfather, and of course anyone that they themselves have seemed capable of beating in battle. She's shown to have the the natural superpowers and abilities of your average Viltrumite, but just because we've only seen her beginnings in the Invincible series doesn't mean that you should underestimate Terra. Terra has the potential to be one of the strongest Viltrumites we've ever seen in the pages of Invincible, or the comic to have continued on. Number 4. Radiant Black. While Radiant Black might still be a relatively new superhero character to arrive on the scene at Image Comics, I would still argue it's one of the most fantastic new superhero characters we've had in years, at Image or elsewhere. That's what I'm saying. I know it might be a hot take for people, but this comic is really good. This is why you don't want to underestimate this hero or the staying power of the Massiverse, which he hails from. Radiant Black, both the character and the series, involves a story that, like Invincible, plays with our expectations of what to expect from a hero tale. It has no problem subverting and shattering tropes and works to redefine the genre in an extremely refreshing way. Radiant Black as a character is also still new to superheroes, whether we're talking about Nathan Burnett or Marshall Ward, but what he lacks in experience he more than makes up for in heart and drive, which often propels him towards victory. That and knowing when to rely on those around him and lean on them for support. Number 3. Robot. Robot might seem like an odd pick for this list for reasons I can't really discuss without getting into spoilers for those of you that are watching the Invincible animated series who have yet to read all of the comics. I know the comics are older now, but I still don't want to spoil anything for folks who are like new to this fandom or who simply, don't read comics. You are still welcome here, friends. That is fine. Robot, as we learn in the animated series and the comics, is piloted by Rudy Connors, whose physical body failed him and was too malformed to function properly. So he built himself a robot body. Following that, he also looks to cloning so that he might have a more functional human form, transferring the consciousness of his original body to the new clone body. There are many reasons you don't want to underestimate Robot or Rudy, but mostly because of his intellect. Number 2. The Darkness. The Darkness is an ancient elemental force that takes up residence in a host, granting them special powers. One of the most famous hosts that we have come to know as the Darkness is Jackie Estacado. The powers that Jackie wields are similar to what you'd expect from some kind of demonic force. They're also honestly comparable to Venom's power set from Marvel Comics, at least I find. The Darkness gives you access to a sort of mystical armor which can be summoned at will. It also grants the user a healing factor, shapeshift abilities, and through them also the ability to fly via wings that he can create. Jackie, as the Darkness, can also create dark tendrils, which he can turn into weapons and can summon entities known as Darklings. While more of an anti-hero due to his brutal methods, Jackie Estacado is still a hero in the sense that he generally fights on the side of good. The Darkness hails from Top Cow Productions, which, like Skybound, is an imprint of Image Comics, as you may already know because we just talked about Witchblade, which is also from Top Cow, so yay. Number 1. Adam Eve. Obviously, one of my all-time favorite comic book superheroes that you should never underestimate is Samantha Eve Wilkins, aka Adam Eve. Or perhaps Atomic Eve if you prefer. I'm not sure where that started, but I feel like I see people calling Adam Eve Atomic Eve everywhere on the internet and honestly also in person, so let me know if you know where that's from, because I have yet to find the source of that. I wasn't aware of it, but people keep saying it, other than perhaps it just has to do with the fact that Eve's powers allow her to rearrange and completely understand the molecular structure of things. That's right, Adam Eve isn't just a matter manipulating powerhouse, although she is that, but she also understands the science of what she is doing, being gifted in science naturally from a young age as part of her power sets. Just another reason you wouldn't want to mess with her, because she can really understand the best ways to atomically mess a person up, not a person you want to upset. That's all I'm gonna say. Adam Eve going off. Go watch the Adam Eve special if you haven't done that yet. Treat yourself. That's about it. Until next time, you stay nerdy, YouTube.